Okay, so 2020.
A yearly recap.
Oh,
I couldn't even get that.
A very random segment with Rafi and Clee. A very random segment.
Hola, you amazing artist, and welcome to our year in review. So, year in review is something that Clee and I do for ourselves every year because we like to look back at the year and feel the sense of accomplishment that comes with celebrating the small wins and stuff like that. This year, we actually thought of not doing a year in review because, 2020.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's important that you celebrate every single tiny little win that you do throughout the year, whether it is in art or in life or in anything. Just a recap and looking back. And you guys know that that's how I use social media. Basically, social media is where I'm able to recap my year and be like, oh, well, holy crap, I did do stuff this year.
This year was chock full of little victories and lots of obstacles and lots of triumphing over obstacles.
Yeah, so this is our 2020 year in review.
This recap does not include any doom scrolling, quarantine internet purchases, or time spent on Bored Panda.
Yes, a lot of time spent on Bored Panda. We love you.
Yeah. Before we get started, I wanted to share a few honorable mentions. And the reason these are honorable mentions is they didn't make the main list because we didn't have photographs to represent them.
Right.
But it wouldn't be complete unless I share these little gems with you. First honorable mention, we attended an in-person face-to-face meeting to discuss remote communications. Second honorable mention, the way that I dress became trendy this year. Which is awesome. Which is somewhere between, I would say, like loungewear and Polish grandfather.
Yeah.
Third honorable mention, Rafi's dad bought a half-ton refrigerator and paid buku dinero for it, but would not pay the extra $50 to have it delivered and installed. So guess who got volunteered to pick it up and install it? Fourth honorable mention, our cousin drove halfway across the country on a road trip during the most serious part of the lockdown and dropped in on us and Pops for a surprise visit, non-socially distanced, to check on us and make sure we were staying safe.
Yeah. So here's our year in review. January, Clee has her first gallery group show.
Indeed I did. It was exciting. Theme, Roaring 2020s. And if that's not foreshadowing.
Yeah, roaring. More like blazing 2020s.
February, we have the creation of the epic jewelry trunk.
Yes!
For my first trunk show.
It was so cool. And that was for the Dolce & Gelato birthday art bash. That I had. Yeah, we had a birthday extravaganza for my birthday, and that's where we got to debut the trunk, which was epic.
March, Rafi had an exhibition at the Luna Gallery, which was super fancy, and he won a Luminaries Award.
I won an award! It's no big thing. It's no big thing.
It's pretty fancy.
No big thing.
Shortly thereafter, in March, the world became a dumpster fire. Immediately following the world becoming a dumpster fire, all the shows, markets, and galleries pretty much shut down, which resulted in us permanently leaving the market and me taking a temporary, not so temporary, leave of absence from the gallery.
Yeah.
Which was followed by some modicum of, what am I gonna do? Next thing on our list is my haircut, which was not a quarantine haircut.
It was a haircut during the quarantine,
okay.
So it is a quarantine haircut.
I guess that's true, but I was planning it before the quarantine.
Quarantine haircut.
Our next notable event is that after much searching, Rafi managed to procure toilet paper.
Yes, and it was the same day as the official launch of the Rogue Artist Survival Guide.
Indeed.
Guide.
So we got to wipe our butts and launch a book.
Yes, which was great, because if not, we would have had to have wiped our butts with my
the
book.
book.
Yeah.
Shortly following the TP victory in the book launch, Rafi learned how to record audiobooks the hard way.
Oh, yeah.
Which brought us into April, And April is when the furry goggles were born.
So cute.
So cute. Also, in our happy place, we discovered AI Gahaku, also known as Super Good Renaissance Portraits.
Yeah. And along with AI Gahaku, we also discovered FaceApp.
Indeed.
And then there was a lot of time spent playing around with both of those.
Also in that time, there was the pre-launch of the Rafi and Klee comic strip.
Yes. So my big plan was like, during the pandemic, I'm going to do all these cool comic strips of whatever, of us doing stuff. And so I released my first one in December.
And as a closeout to April of 2020, Rafi accidentally deleted 100 pages of audiobook recording. That was a good day.
Yeah.
It was not a good day.
The hard way. That's how I learned.
Which brings us to May and technology. We had our very first Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
Which it paved the way for our internet dominance.
And the future.
Future.
Also in May, Rafi finished and launched the audiobook. Hooray!
Yay! Look at those guns.
Those
Have
are
nothing-
audiobook muscles.
Yes, they are.
And speaking of launches, in May we got to nerd out and watch the first ever SpaceX launch.
Nerds.
Yeah, where they sent 2 humans
Away from Earth.
away from Earth.
And we thought, that's probably a good plan.
Yeah. Starting in June, then I did my first official, wood carved piece. I went out and bought the equipment to be able to do a painting that is carved into the wood. And that's going to be a series. Then after that, the kids came. The children came for a visit.
Which we were very excited about and also had to do a lot of prep work because of the lockdown times.
Yeah.
We couldn't take them anywhere or do much of anything, so a lot of art happened. And music.
It was good.
We did have one socially distanced trip to the beach.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, but good.
Weird, but good.
In July, these children were being returned, so we took the first and only road trip ever during the pandemic, which resulted in us going into quarantine and actually having a Rona virus scare.
Not fun.
Not fun. We then went and did the Q-tip swab thing. We don't have pictures of that, but this pretty much represents what the experience was like. And then we had no test results for the duration of our quarantine.
And then, 2 plus some change weeks later, everything was okay.
Yay!
Hooray! We didn't have the Rona.
No, we did not.
And our studio was able to open up once more.
Yes, we opened right up.
Which was really good because I had my first Lost Wax casting commission and my first ever Lost Wax casting that I did with your dad.
I know, that was awesome. And I also finished and launched the audiobook commentary that we recorded.
Finally!
So, not 1, but 2 audiobooks went out during 2020.
Indeed. Shortly thereafter, we had a double hurricane.
What does it mean?
Who knows? The double hurricane missed us, so we were like, phew.
Yeah. And it was a crazy year because there were all kinds of hurricanes and then all of a sudden a double hurricane. It was like, what the heck is going on this year? But it missed us, so we were good.
And shortly thereafter, in September, Hurricane Sally happened.
She did not miss us.
She did not miss us, and she was drunk and quite fighty.
Yeah. But as a result of the hurricane, you and I were complete badasses and basically no electricity, no internet, and no way out. No way out.
Yeah, we treated it like glamping.
Yeah.
And while we did have to shut the studio down temporarily because none of the things worked, we got through it.
Yeah. So that's the second time we shut down the studio.
Yeah.
During 2020.
I anxiously awaited the news to know whether my jewelry pieces at the gallery were underwater or not, and I was super glad that they weren't, but at the same time, I then decided to pull up anchor and officially leave the Co-op gallery.
Then around that time is when I decided to launch the new book, because I'm like, hey, I don't have enough to do. let's launch a marketing book. And it ended up not only being a marketing book, but being 2 books. A
Plus
marketing,
workbook.
money book, workbook. So yeah.
That brings us to October, where most of the hurricane stuff was handled, but the internet struggle was real and real slow to normalize.
Oh.
A lot of you guys know exactly what we're talking about, because
Yep.
things couldn't happen.
Nothing. The internet worked enough for me to sell 2 giant paintings. That was the first time that I ever had to ship giant paintings overseas. So that was like ching. Like
That's a huge milestone,
It's
and
awesome.
those paintings were huge.
huge. They only cost $1,800 to ship. Oh God.
That also was a milestone marker for me in October because I worked on my first very fancy, like diamond set traditional engagement ring with Pops.
Yeah.
And, Pops taught me all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
That was a really beautiful ring.
That ring is so good. You decided to do a little studio upgrade and build yourself a dark room.
Oh yeah. It's a great dark room.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's highly functional.
It is. And you could, it's
Very portable.
portable.
October was also when you were getting ready and doing the launch for the 2021 calendars, which are epic, and I know that you were very much looking forward to 2021.
Yes. So 2021 calendars, that was me looking into a beautiful and bright future
Indeed.
ahead.
And then we had a drive-by from Hurricane Zeta. Hurricane Zeta didn't hit us, but she did manage to take out our power and internet. So there we are, once more,
No
sitting in the
internet.
dark.
Yep.
And then immediately following being back online after Zeta, it was time for early voting.
Mhm.
Everyone knows about the early voting. Rafi's ballot got lost there for a little while, and we were pretty nervous, and I sent quite a few stern emails.
It got there the day before, though.
It got there the day
We made
before.
it. We voted.
We
Yeah.
voted. But around the same time was the awesome blue moon.
Yeah, we got to see the blue moon this year.
Yeah, we did.
Lots
It was
of
beautiful.
events in the stars. I mean, that's the one thing this year.
Yeah, thank you to the sky for being really cool.
Yeah, during the dumpster fire on Earth.
And we finally did the Boogeyman Boogie
Yes!
Global
Edition!
which was so cool and so awesome and so much fun.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you to everyone that was a part of that. And remember, I will be sending you a gift. It'll be in January. Everybody that was part of the Boogeyman Boogie.
Flash forward to November and our internet struggles continued
It was so bad, you guys. Like, we're relying on the internet,
for everything.
and there was no internet
So
for
Rafi tried to come up with some
I
creative
figured,
solutions.
like back in the day, you could use a wire hanger for your TV. Didn't work.
In the meantime, while we were trying to get the internet stuff sorted out, I designed a new ring and I asked Rafi to model it. And he figured this was the appropriate sentiment for the modeling pictures.
Yeah, this was the appropriate sentiment for the year.
We did manage to get back online in November, and we had our first ever entirely online Small Business Saturday sale.
Yeah, so it was the first time that instead of focusing on markets and festivals and galleries and shows, everything was in-house, and it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to December, where I started putting googly eyes on things around the studio because googly eyes.
Everywhere, you guys.
I thought we could use some extra company. December is also the month that we hosted our first ever virtual open studio holiday sale and giveaway
Oh,
in
you
lieu
guys.
of our holiday open studio.
Yeah, because usually we did an in-person holiday open studio, and obviously with the Rona, we were not going to do that. But as it turns out, it was a really cool experience.
Yes.
It was a really cool experience, and not something that we would have done had it not been for the dumpster fire of a year that we've been having.
It's true. It was good. It was full of laughs, sweating, and bumbling, and all around good times.
Yeah, a lot of bumbling.
And thank you to all of you that attended our virtual live sale.
You guys rock. And then more stuff up in the skies. The Great Conjunction! We got to actually see it through some binoculars that were from, like, the 1800s.
Yeah. which was way cool.
Yeah, thank you, Eli, for randomly showing up and not knowing who we were, but still saying, hey, you want to see it through my binoculars? Because you were awesome.
Mm-hmm. And finally, for the magic of Christmas Eve, Rafi and I ventured into outside land for a brisk walk, and it was the first time it was cold enough to wear coats.
We got to wear coats.
Got to wear coats.
I loved it. I know a lot of people, like, up in, like, colder areas are like,
We've been wearing coats for months.
well, we like wearing coats.
We do. We had our socially distanced walk down the main street to see the lights.
Yeah. Now we're just looking forward to 2021 coming in. So this video is a little bit early. We usually do this like at the very end of the year, but we're really looking forward to 2021.
Yeah. So here it is.
Like, really looking forward to it. Obviously, every year we have all these epic things happening, and I really seriously did not think that this year there was anything going on because of just the way that the year has been. But it's really cool to just look back and just celebrate those small wins so that you can feel like a badass. So, and no matter what they are, I'm sure that you guys accomplished some amazing things during this year.
I know a lot of you guys overcame fears, put yourselves out there, had challenges, were victorious, learned a ton of stuff.
Doesn't have to be anything, you know, like, I learned a new language, or I learned how to do, or I sold 1 million paintings. Just the little things. I think every single one of you is absolutely and completely freaking awesome. And it's just taking that time, just that little moment to really, really take a look and see how awesome you are.
And then give yourself a high five.
High five. Yeah, to yourself.
Yeah.
We'll give you a high five too. Just pretend we gave you a high five. So what I would love for you guys to do is just share just maybe one thing that you did this year that you're really, really proud of. Go ahead and share, put it in the comment section below. And thank you for everybody that's still watching this because you guys are peeps. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing, and I totally, totally adore you. And happy 2021. I know it's not here yet, but happy 2021!
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. You want to say goodbye, Clee?
Good day and good new year.
Good New Year. Adios.